Nuclear power and its role in our future. Did you know that if we keep consuming electricity the way that we do, our future will end in destruction? I worked in both fossil fuels and nuclear power plants, and I'm here to tell you, nuclear power is the way to go. We all know someone who has been affected by hurricanes, droughts, and tornadoes. Fossil fuel energy is a major problem in the U.S., but if you build more nuclear power plants, it will benefit us and our descendants in the future. There are several problems that arise from fossil fuel energy sources. According to David Simmer and Schreiber Publishing, rising atmospheric CO2 levels, primarily a result of fossil fuel emissions, have become a predominantly cause of continuing climate change. Rising CO2 causes earth temperatures to increase. That means more droughts, more severe storms will develop, hurricane categories will increase. So, what develops the most CO2 in the United States? Transportation and electrical generation. It was 99% of CO2 emissions. Now that we have discussed the problems with fossil fuel energy sources, let's discuss a solution. Nuclear power is one source of energy that can mitigate problems of fossil fuels place on us. According to David Toke and Rutledge, there is a global recognition that urgent action is needed to reduce CO2 emissions to attempt to avoid the most dangerous consequence of climate change. Nuclear power has zero emissions. Nuclear power can run 24/7, 365, snow, ice, wind, or rain. Nuclear power and its role in our future. A better future is ahead. 0 versus 99% CO2 carbon emission. This picture of Grand Gulf Nuclear Station. This is a picture of White Bluff Coal Plant. Both you see what you make think is steam. But this is just condensate, which is basically a pot on your stove boiling water, just condensate coming out, basically steam. This is CO2 emissions. It is harmful to the atmosphere, and it will cause catastrophic damage in our future if we don't make a change. According to Dearius Simmer and Schreiber Publishing, the most important thing we can do is to quickly replace today's fossil fuel-based energy system with something that is both clean and reliable. Nuclear power plants do not pollute the air, do not contribute to climate change, do not harm the land we live on. 0%, that's the goal. We don't see coal or natural gas plants on this chart. It's a source of emission-free electricity. Solar, wind, and geothermal makes up about 11%. Hydro is about 25%, and nuclear is 63%. That's 0 carbon emissions. That means no CO2 in the atmosphere. According to National Academics Press, nuclear power plants emit neither precursors to acid rain or gases that contribute to global warming like carbon dioxide. Not only are the benefits apparent in the present day, but they are also detrimental to our futures. If the U.S. comply with these guidelines, the benefits to us and our descendants would be unmatched. According to National Academic Press, large-scale development of new nuclear power plants will require significant change by both industry and government. The industry will have to decide to build more new power plants, nuclear power plants. Look here, this is the U.S. electrical production. 30% coal, 34% natural gas, about 1% oil. Nuclear is only 20%. Why is that? 65% use of CO2 emission of the plants currently right now is coal and natural gas. That's the problem. According to Jonathan Rouse in Atlantic, as countries develop, the demand for electricity will almost double, close to 30% by 2050. Meeting these demands to reduce carbon will be impossible without nuclear. The future needs a clean source of energy. A cleaner source looks kind of like this. By 2023, we ought to have 54% nuclear instead of the 20%. Gas and oil ought to be about 23%. Coal, 4%. And renewables and hydro, 5 to 2%. According to Michael Fox in Oxford University Press, coal-fired plants produce about a third of the CO2 emissions in the United States. Nuclear power plants get licensed for almost 80 years. That's 80 years of clean electricity. That's 80 years of safe living. Nuclear power plants produce thousands of jobs. So we are in a position to better our future with our kids and our descendants. So, fossil fuels. Energy is a major problem in the United States. But if we build more nuclear plants, it will benefit us and our descendants in the future. We need to be advocates for nuclear power plants. This is a major part of the future. We should ask the politicians more questions concerning our future in nuclear power production. Public Service Commission is a good place to start. We need to know how they plan to incorporate more nuclear power plants. Nuclear power is essential to the way we live. We need to sustain it. We need it to sustain our future. Think about it. Hurricane Katrina. Imagine having a Hurricane Katrina 3 or 4 times a year. That's basically what's going to happen if we keep on losing our ozone layer. Nuclear power is the way to go.